public commission is always a great challenge, and doing it in a new city like Dubai is even greater. With the Arab Fund for Arts and Culture, we commissioned 5 contemporary artists: Vartan Avakian, Doa Aly, Shaikha Mazrou, Vikram Divecha, and Monira Qadiri. Responded to a theme which is InVisible, so how to conceal manifestations in public space or reveal elements in public spaces. I chose the 5 artists for the diversity of their practice. We tried as much as possible to challenge the commonality of public art.
The piece I'm doing now is called Collapsing Clouds of Gas and Dust, and it's basically a work I've been developing on how we inscribe data on natural material and how data is hidden within nature. So for this particular piece, I collect water from monumental sites and try to encapsulate this monumentality somehow. All the dust that is generated by making the monument, like building it, and by maintaining its monumentality, like by visiting the site where we make it into a monument.
To me, I looked at the theme and tried to think about the viewer, and the viewer makes the work visible. I've created a work that challenges the viewer to stand in a certain perspective. It requires the viewer to stand in a certain angle in order to view the work. So basically, through very minimal language, I've constructed a shape that comes together from a certain angle but then breaks down from another angle.
It stemmed from my inquiry about the quarrying industry in Fujairah, in the Emirates over here. And I've always been keen about how they make material to make construction material. What's curious is that when they have this blasting process, they drill these large holes into the mountains and they fill them with explosives. The explosives are not filled up to the brim. And so very rarely they bring out boulders which still have the drill holes. We're going to create a large construction site. So we're going to barricade it with the fencing that you normally see in Dubai. Almost every third or fourth plot is a construction site. And we can never see behind these sites. There's always something hidden. For me, that's an odd way of taking a peek into the construction activities that extend into the mountainous landscape in Dubai.
The entirely post-oil generation, like myself, have no real ties to history. I feel there is a huge rupture in history that happened because of oil, and I feel we have to come to terms with that reality. In this project, I thought maybe I can create a continuation of history in the Gulf despite this rupture that happened through the formal use of color and form. So I discovered that the color of pearls is the same as the color of oil. They call it the dichroic color. And they're just on opposite sides of the spectrum. So pearls are on the light side and oil is on the dark. I created a giant oil drill. And in actual fact, oil drills are very beautiful things. They resemble like marine, like octopuses or jewelry or flowers. Which I found to be very beautiful and decorative. My dream would be to have a different one in every Gulf city.
I did do a lot of research about Dubai, very specific research about how Dubai was actually constructed, like all the skyscrapers and very scientific details into the architecture and the technology involved in building Dubai. And then I came across this article about, a stranded gazelle. I I thought it was really interesting as an example of nature trying to pierce through the jungle of skyscrapers. Really what I wanted to recreate is that moment in the article of utter surprise, and not the deer in the headlights moment where the writer saw the gazelle, did not know if it was a gazelle, had to come close to it, but the gazelle was running so fast. So that moment of seeing something totally out of place, completely out of context.
A public commission is also a complex set of procedures. We had to work with contractors, with engineers, with policymakers, and the success of it wouldn't have been possible without the support of the Arab Fund for Arts and Culture and a great production team that was led by Hetal Pawani from 17.